some tabs here. All right. Welcome back to whitewolfalchemy.com and our live from the Norwegian woods once again. I'm your host, Ulf Håknes, and in this video we will be exploring our beliefs. We will be exploring the untruths of our reality. We will be exploring the collective psychosis, the collective consensus of reality, or as some of you come to know it, as the Matrix. So, we've just come out of the holiday season. A major cultural and financial trap. Both the entire Christmas concept with all the presents and all the money, spending, and New Year's Eve, getting fucked up, celebrating the new year, going into the new year unconscious, without intent, just flailing aimlessly into a new year. Well, the Gregorian calendar, to start, is a system that's set up for you to lose touch with your natural rhythm. Okay? So it's part of our culture, part of society, part of this cultural psychosis to agree upon a collective construct known as the Gregorian calendar. Now, we see it especially with the leap year, right? They have to insert a day in the calendar every 4 years for it to add up. Now you see the system is already designed flawed and unnatural as such. So anything that is unnatural will be unhealthy to us. It will create results in our brain that are unnatural to our bodies, to the mind, to the spirit, to the soul, to everything in nature as such. Now there are the original or the true New Year falls on the 13th full moon. If you think a little bit, there's 13 full moons within a year. So that would mean that there's 13 months within a natural year cycle, within a natural lunar cycle or natural lunar year, right? So there's 13 of these full moons. On the last full moon, that's when we truly experience a new year, right? So happy Matrix Day or Matrix Evening for a lot of you who celebrated New Year's Eve. Going unconscious, not lucid, into a unconscious and lucidity destroying construct, as it truly is. If you think about it just a little bit, I challenge you here to use your mind in a way that you won't find in a lot of spiritual systems. Now, I'm not a fan of any spiritual system, any religion, or New Age thought as such, other than the Toltec tradition and shamanic cosmic consciousness, which many speak about, many talk about, but I see very little embodiment of this, even within the yogic teachers, the traditionals. They talk about karma and a lot of these belief systems that are within the firmament, and there's really no cosmic consciousness there at all. It's just planetary regurgitation of shit that they've learned and not even questioned. It's just, okay, that's how it is. I'll take that for good fish. Gobble, gobble, gobble. When in all actuality, it's complete bullshit and nonsense. And that goes for all of our religions. I'm sorry to say, religion has been hijacked. There's very little truth to it anymore because these texts have been so altered and changed the narrative to suit their narrative of divide and conquer and control. Now, how can you best have a people lose their sense of self? How can we best remove people from their roots and control them? Exactly that, remove them from their ancestry, remove them from their roots, force feed them false religion, force feed them culture that is not true to their ancestry, make them forget all about where they came from, feed them a culture, consensus psychosis that will keep them mentally ill and locked in within a system for control. That's what our society basically is. That's why the Vatican went to the Vikings and forced all the Vikings to become Christians, otherwise they would burn them inside their holy, sacred places of worship. And then on top of that holy place of worship, the sacred site, they then put a church to furthermore stifle their spirituality and their ancestral power. Now, they did the same to the Native Americans. Mind you, they do the same all over the world. They did the same with the Aborigines in Australia. Everywhere that the white man has gone on behalf of the Vatican and the English royal crown, they've removed people from their roots and force feed them some false religion, so that they will lose all sense of self, all personal power, and be food for the parasite known as popular culture. All right? And you see the same with time. Now, I have a watch because it was a gift from my wife. So I love the watch, but it's complete bullshit. Time is a construct, okay? Time is the same as the Gregorian calendar. They have to put some daylight savings into the whole thing to have it make sense, So it's already a system of default there as well. So you can look at the calendar, bullshit, time, bullshit, and if you take a further look at everything within the human firmament of the collective consciousness, religion, politics, all of these celebrity culture, so much bullshit, so much that is cancer to your mind, body, and spirit, honestly. It's complete toxic waste and bullshit. And the more time you spend, and money, you pay attention to all these celebrities, you pay attention to popular culture, who's wearing what, fashion as well, complete bullshit. So everything within cultural construct is bullshit. And the more time we spend within popular culture and within this collective consensus of reality, the more psychotic we are. I had a beautiful thought today that, the psychologist, the psychiatrist, and the doctor are the true psychotic. They share a common psychosis, believing in a faulty system, believing in a faulty medical system that was created by John D. Rockefeller in order to sell his petroleum-based medications so that he could make big money. Big money. There's big money behind psychiatry, psychology, and medicine, Western medicine. Now, if you want to get to the true psychiatrists and psychologists, I would urge you to take a look at Carl Gustav Jung. I'm not a Freudian fan at all, so I'm a Jungian when it comes to psychology. And that's the only way you'll ever find true personal power, through psychology, psychiatry, and just throw away Western medicine altogether unless you are in need of surgery, unless you need a blood transfusion, you've been in a horrible accident, or you need life support somehow. Other than that, take good care of your organs, take good care of your blood, take good care of your lymphatic system, your blood vessels, take good care of your nervous system, take good care of yourself. You cannot hand over autonomy and authority over your own body to another person, especially not a person that's on the payroll of petroleum-based medications. All right, so that needed to be said. Now we can take another look at TV. Okay, TV, media, music, the other essential parts of our culture as such. Most of our TV is programming, complete delusional programming, meant to confine you. Entertainment. You're entering containment. You're entering. It's like the yard in a prison where you get 1 hour of fresh air in a prison, right? You enter the containment, entertainment, and you sit there and you waste away your life, you waste away your hours, you waste away your creative potential, you waste away your thoughts. You start thinking like the things that you entertain, just like you become like the people you keep in your company. Be careful of the people you keep in your company. Be careful of the programming you allow yourself to be programmed with. That goes for TV, that goes for movies, that goes for books, that goes for anything of entertainment within the collective consensus of popular culture, the true psychosis. All right? So, most all of the music on our radio these days, you turn on the radio and it's just mindless dribble. It's just absolute soulless crap. Fast food for the soul. And you're bumping to it, you're grinding to it, and I like this beat. That's right where they're hooking you in. And you sit there and you sing along to some stupid nonsense. You sing along to some awful toxic mentality. You sing along to some awful toxic thoughts and culture, right? And you feel part of something. You feel hip. You feel cool. This is what all the cool kids are listening to these days, and it's absolute parasitic dribble, mindless amoeba. All right. Now they don't make music like they used to, do they? So, and for a reason, you know, they want to program you with lack of consciousness. They want to program you with lack of power. They want to program you with addiction, especially addiction. So much music as far back as the 1920s with the jazz and the weed smoking back then. And then alcohol throughout rock and roll, drugs, sex, drugs, rock and roll. They want to make you sex addicts. They want to make you drug addicts. They want to basically make you degenerate, low life amoebas. That's what they need to maintain the popular culture. That's what they need to maintain the collective consensus, the collective psychosis that it truly, truly is. It's insanity. It's pure insanity. Everything you watch on TV, insanity. Everything you listen to on the radio, insanity. Everything they talk about in politics, insanity. Everything they talk about in the movies, in most books, romantic insanity. They want to make you addicted to love, addicted to sex, addicted to drugs, addicted to alcohol, addicted to, cigarettes, addicted to fast food, McDonald's, billboards all over the place. And as soon as they got you, you need your next fix. McDonald's, all that fast food is addictive as hell. They fucking pour all those nasty chemicals and all that addictive stuff, MSG, what have you, monosodium glutamate, and all that crap. They just pour it on all these foods, all the chips, all the, so you'll keep coming back for your fix. And neurotoxins in these spices. It's not spice at all. It's just chemical waste. And they attack the brain. They attack these neurotoxins. They attack the brain and make your brain a porridge, a salad. Ugh. Eventually we become stupider and stupider, and the stupider we get, the more we love the music, the more we love the movies, and they feed us the same shit over again, just like the last Matrix movie, dribble, the genius behind the first Matrix movie, where you can actually, if you understand that movie, you can set your mind free. They completely lost the plot. The director is deranged and delusional, and lost all sense of self to such an extent they don't even know their pronouns anymore, which is another part of the collective psychosis these days. They want us to choose our pronouns. It's either he, she, they, it, them, thou. It's complete psychosis. Your body has two genders. The law of gender is a cosmic law. We cannot rule out cosmic law. We cannot rule out natural law. When we do that, we give birth to insanity. We give birth to insanity when we rule out cosmic law and natural law. It's not to stick underneath the carpet. Oh shit. Insanity. So, it's the same for the spiritual teachers. It's the same for the spiritual teachers and the spiritual teachings of the spiritual community. Most of these spiritual teachers are delusional idiots. I'm telling you right now. Most of them are full of shit. I love my friend Anam up on YouTube. He said it himself. Amma, that hugging lady, full of shit. Sadhguru, full of shit. I can go further and name most all of these. I don't give a crap. They're all full of shit. They all want to hook you in to that bliss, that spiritual bliss. It's like a drug. And they want you to keep coming back for more of that drug. It's no personal power that they're giving away there at all. It's not personal power. It's not empowerment. It's another addiction. And you need to go back on YouTube to keep getting your fix from these spiritual gurus. Or Facebook, or whatever you get, where you maybe pay out of your asshole to go to their events. You know, so you can get your spiritual fix, your spiritual fast food, and just listen to the blissful states of someone that speaks, you know, breathfully. And now we're going to tune in to our heart center and feel the love of the oneness. I am you, you are me, and we are one. It's just bullshit. Bullshit, 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 bullshit. Regurgitated, new age dribble. Nothing but fucking bullshit. Alright? There's one spiritual teacher that I have respect for that actually teaches you to get your shit together and is in your face about it. Other than Anam that I just mentioned, beautiful soul. Teal Swan. Yes. Teal Swan. She teaches actual steps for you to empower your own damn self. Alright? That's the only spirituality you need to seek. It's personal empowerment. Alright? Freedom. If anything puts you in a trap or anything keeps you coming back for more bullshit, it's bullshit. Alright? Eventually, a spiritual teacher should be able to open the door for you to exit the firmament, escape the matrix, and rid yourself of bullshit. Not give you more bullshit. There's no deities out there. Krishna, Odin, for those who are of Norse mythology, Freya, all of these gods of our time are bullshit. If you look into Carl Gustav Jung, they are archetypes of the human mold, the human form, the human mold. Alright? These are all archetypes that we ourselves can embody upon entering this existence. We can choose to take the form. Let's say you come in and you're an absolute gorgeous man boy, and all the women think you're absolutely stunning. You're embodying the human mold known as Krishna. You know? Simple as that. Or when you rage and you're furious and you destroy everything in order to recreate it again, you are embodying the human form, the human mold known as Shiva. These are not gods. These are energies and archetypes of consciousness. Alright? There's only one true God, and that's source creative energy. It's not a being. It's not a deity. It's not a form. It's energy. And it moves in and out of you just as much as it moves in and out of me. We are all God. Alright? We are all source creative energy and source creative intelligence experiencing ourselves in human form. There are no gods. There are no goddesses. They are only archetypes of consciousness that can be utilized and should not be worshipped, should not be devotion. It's another drug. I see devotees sitting and chanting, and it's beautiful, but if I listen to the chanting for too long, it just sounds psychotic to me. It gives me dissonance within myself, where I just feel, and a lot of these people are pretentious as all out as well. I really, really have a hard time with overly religious people, or New Age spiritual people who have turned New Age spirituality into a whole new religion all to themselves, with just mixing, I'm taking this religion, that religion, this religion, and just stirring it out. Oh, I'm creating my own religion. And then they go on YouTube and they listen to all these gurus and bullshit artists, and Sadhguru is pulling some shit out of his ass, and they're clapping and find it fascinating, and it's all fucking bullshit. Bliss. If you're seeking bliss in the spiritual community, oh, I want to feel good, I want to high vibration, negativity, oh my God, that's one of my favorite. Good vibes only, positive vibes only. You are such a spiritually bypassing person. Oh my God, it's just endless spiritual bypass. Positive vibes only. And as soon as they're the most negative people and most angry, aggressive, spiritually retentive assholes out there anyways. Oh my God. Positive vibes only. And then there's, ugh. So we got to be real with ourselves. We got to be real with ourselves. I myself, have to stalk my self-importance, because I actually have an audience that listens to me, listens to my ranting and my communication from my higher self, intelligence, and experiences, spiritual experiences, mystical experiences that I've had plenty of, and they seek that resonance that they find in that. And I myself then have to stalk my self-importance, and stalk my ego to, ensure that I am not deluding myself, that I am not putting myself on a pedestal, or making myself out to be better than I really am. So I don't believe in faking it to make it. That is self-importance disguising itself in the highest form of delusion. If I was to fake it until I make it, and let's say I'm a mountain climber, and I'm gonna fake it until I make it. I'm gonna fall right down. I'm gonna fall right down the mountain and go right in the ground. And it's the same for you with your spirituality. It's the same for you with anything that you practice or teach or train. If you fake it till you make it, you're gonna fall flat on your ass. Don't fake it until you make it. That's some Hollywood nonsense, spiritual dribble bullshit. And you have to recognize the bullshit. If you don't recognize the bullshit, you're gonna delude yourself. You're gonna tell yourself tall tales, alright? I was out fishing in a pond, the pond is this big, and I caught a fish this big. If you can't see that, then I'm sorry, you're delusional. You're deluding yourself. I've done it plenty of times. So many times I received a spiritual download on a full moon while sunbathing in the moonlight and charging my crystals and all of that beautiful. I love crystals, by the way. I'm not making only fun. But, all of these are belief systems. I can charge my crystals on a cloudy day. I can charge my crystals on a half moon. I can charge my crystals, in the sunlight. Oh, it doesn't always have to be a full moon. So keep your crystals wherever you want to keep them and enjoy, this ride. But be aware that most of what you believe is bullshit. 99% bullshit. There's a core of truth there. And it has nothing to do with politics. It has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with celebrity culture. It has nothing to do with psychiatry, psychology, diagnosing people, Western medicine, pharmacopoeia. It has nothing to do with food-like products. It has nothing to do with Burger King and McDonald's or... you get where I'm going with this. Everything in our society is psychotic bullshit. Everything. Absolutely everything. Doesn't matter. Your ideas of love is psychotic bullshit that you picked up from Hollywood songs, Hollywood music, Hollywood romance movies with Humphrey Bogart and since the 1920s, and all of that romantic nonsense bullshit. It's just to keep you addicted to love. Your ideas of love are rooted in psychotic addiction. So, that's why we fall in love. We don't rise in love in our society. We fall in love. Oh, I lost myself in this person. Ooh, sounds really fucking scary to me. You lost yourself in them? Oh my goodness. I hope you found yourself again before you broke up. No, I didn't find myself until we broke up. Is that love? No, it's not love. It's addiction. You're addicted to love. You became addicted to the person you were with. You became addicted to not feeling your own shit. All right. Every time you came home to your beloved, you felt so good, and they took away all your worries and all your bullshit, and they just felt like home. You need to feel like home. To you. You need to be able to go anywhere in the world and feel at home within your own damn self. If not, you're gonna have a real hard time on this planet, and you're gonna have food addictions, emotional addictions, you're gonna have love addictions, you're gonna have drug addictions, alcohol addictions, tobacco addictions, you're gonna have endless addictions because you have a void inside of you that you think can be filled with love. That's the main illusion that we are all fed on a daily basis. I can't live if living is without you. Are you kidding me? You can't live if you can't live without this other person? Must be some amazing fucking person. They must be great. Probably not. Just trauma bonding and wounded bonding and very, very toxic love. Very, very. You should be able to live without another person. You should be able to breathe without another person. You should love the air that you breathe because you love being you. You should feel at home anywhere in the world because there you are. There you are. Wherever you are, there you are. Home. Home within yourself. So home is a feeling. It's not a place. It's definitely not a person. If your home is a person, you're shit out of luck already. You're down the hole, delusional, completely psychotic, drenched in love psychosis, completely love addicted, completely intoxicated with your ideas about love to such an extent that you can't see reality anymore. So that's the truth of it all. And I have so many who have come to me over the years, and they experience this beautiful connection, now labeled twin flame, when you can have many of these experiences and connections, because we are multidimensional beings. And once you truly get that your soul is multidimensional, so there's not one of you, there's not two of you. There's a whole tree full of branches from your soul, where you can experience soul-to-soul connection with any one of these branches on your tree, on your soul tree. All right? So, one true love does not exist. Does not exist. I'm sorry. You can have many true loves. Many, many, many. Into infinity in the multidimensional consciousness of the multiverse. There's more than one God. There's more than one source. There's more than one point of creation out there in the multiverse on a multitude of infinite timelines and realities. There's more than one God. God. More than one source, creative intelligence. I love that word. Alright. So this is just one of the many ways that we need to really, really realize all our illusions. Okay? And as long as we partake in these illusions unconsciously, alright, the more we're going to lose ourselves, the more power we're going to give away to the collective psychosis, to culture. So the next delusional holiday that's coming up is Valentine's Day. It's one of the most delusional ones. It's one of the most psychotic holidays there is. Every day should be Love Day. Every day should be your Valentine's Day. Every day you should romance yourself, life, creation, all that is. Every day should be a celebration of love. Oh, we had to appoint one day just for the sake of materialistic spendage, just for the sake of consumerism, which is the true god of our culture. Consumerism, with fashion, music, spending, get the new games, get the new movie, get the new instruments, get the new TV, get the new iPhone. Tap yourself in. Soon they're gonna come out with this metaverse and chips in the hands to open doors and chips in our brains so we can log into virtual reality and Facebook just where we are. We don't even need a device anymore. We're going to lose all our organic nature. We're going to lose all organic structure. We're going to lose all natural law. We're going to lose all cosmic law by being plugged in to a false matrix. It's happening right before our very eyes, and nobody seems to question whether we should allow, big tech and big pharma and governments to control our lives and our consciousness and our bodies And we give away our autonomy and authority to big tech, to big pharma, to government, to food-like product factory fuckers. You know, whether it's Domino Pizza, Big Mac, Burger King, whether it's, you know, all these inorganic, synthetic, crap food-like things that rob our bodies of nutrients. And then we're being forced on vaccines that will make us addicted to their petroleum-based medications, designed by Rockefeller to degenerate generations, degenerate mankind. I bet your ass they're probably not eating any of these medications themselves, probably not taking any of these inoculations themselves, you know what I'm saying? They're probably not giving that to their children. Ritalin, Valium, all that shit. Robs your body of vital nutrients needed for your brain to function optimally. Trace minerals flushed out of your system, and then you have to go get the fake supplement minerals from your Whole Foods, which do nothing but further sabotage your health and ruin your consciousness and your mind, because your brain needs these vital nutrients, these minerals and vitamins in order to function. And Monsanto and all these companies, they rob all the seeds and foods and vegetables of these vital minerals, so that the food is becoming less and less nutrient rich, and more need for their buddy Bayer and Pfizer and all these glorious companies to come in and supplement you with a little bit of mood enhancing medication that will rob your body of more of these vital nutrients that you're already lacking because of Monsanto. And you need more of the Bayer, you need more of the Pfizer in order to, you know, get going. And then eventually you're like flatlining. So it's a short shot to fast track to the grave. Eating Monsanto vegetables, popping Bayer and Pfizer pills, and lo and behold, your degenerate consciousness will eventually produce degenerate children. You know, children with an ear here and, you know, flippers, and God knows what else you might see as a result of the shit. Most of you will just be so infertile that you won't produce offspring at all. That's probably their plan anyways. So, yeah, it's a glorious, glorious time to be alive, folks. Don't be fooled. I'm not as negative as I sound, but this is the negative reality that we live in. And you have to be aware of these things. Otherwise, you're losing the war on consciousness, the war on your mind, body, and spirit, that you are in the battlefield fighting for your consciousness, fighting for your health, fighting for your lucidity more than anything, due to the billboard nature of our popular culture everywhere on commercials. You know, people are walking commercials these days. And so it's very, very important to tune in with your sense of self, with your tune in with your power, with your personal power. Tune in with your soul frequency, with your creativity. Tune into your consciousness as much as you can throughout your day. Turn off as many of these devices as you can throughout your day. Turn off the TV, turn off the radio. Be mindful of the music that you play. Be mindful of the music that you sing along to. These are also mantras in your singing. Boom taka tika taka boom bang boom ka boom taka tika taka boom boom, crack and coke and blow, and it's brain rotting bullshit. So be very, very careful of what you put into your cells and into your consciousness, because you will become it. And that goes for the people you surround yourself with as well. If you surround yourself with degenerate people who do nothing but self-sabotage and get stuck in self-importance and self-pity and ruin their lives, whining and bitching and complaining, or tooting their own horn, or both sides of the spectrum here. Be very mindful of the toxicity of the average man. Okay? Be very, very mindful of the toxicity of the average man. And, try to opt for your soul. Try to opt for your blueprint, your soul frequency. Whatever makes you unique and special. Because we're all unique and special. We all have something that's a beautiful talent, trait, or gift within us. Bring that forth and out of you and into the world, and you probably won't be bored a minute of your day, a minute of your life, ever again. And you'll probably end up making a little bit of side money from your passions, from your talents, your traits, and your gifts, rather than having to prostitute yourself to a workplace or a boss, or sell your soul to do something you absolutely hate for a few bucks an hour. You're meant for more than that. We all are meant for more than what society is squeezing us in to become another brick in the wall. And kudos to you, Roger Waters, for being the only artist in the music industry that has not sold his soul to Big Pharma these last few years. Kudos to you, Roger Waters. All you other musicians and artists out there, you are full of bullshit, hypocritical assholes. Especially you, Rage Against the Machine. Oh my God, I can't stand you anymore. I used to love you so much. You used to be rebels of our time. Now you are nothing more than puppets for the puppet masters, and it's sad. Eddie Vedder too. Eddie Vedder used to, society. Now he is the embodiment of society, with his new stupid plastic wife. And oh my God, I'm very, 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 very distraught by all my heroes, all my musical legends and artist heroes having become hypocritical, money hungry puppets for an industry. It's just sad. It's very, very sad. If you are a musician yourself, I urge you to sing about our times. Don't sing about fucking Gucci and Dolce & Gabbana and all this mindless zombie bullshit. Sing about our times. What's going on these days? And what are we up against? We need more storytellers of our time. Real music. Not this zombie dribble that we listen to on the radio. This is a call to all musicians, to all painters, to all poets, to all artists, writers, and creative people. Create the message for our time to awaken mankind to the truth of who they are. Thank you for watching, and may you be free of your illusions. May you walk in freedom, as my friend Anam says. You can find him up on YouTube, the Nagual song. He talks a lot about these things that I've mentioned here today. And to find another teacher or spiritual guide out there that's actually not selling people bullshit like Sadhguru and all these bliss hunting doo-doo ding-dongs out there, to actually find someone who's selling you truth. I have to applaud them. Thank you so much for being a voice of reason and truth and lucidity in a world of spiritual jargon, world of spiritual regurgitation, and fast food spiritual dribble that most of the spiritual community contains. Anyways, so hatha to you. Keep at it. May you ignite more, and may my talks here also ignite more people that are willing to drop the spiritual jargons and spiritual bullshit and actually go out there and speak some truth. We need more of that in this community. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something here with me today. I hope you were able to free yourself of some of the illusions that you've deluded yourself with, as we have, all of us. There's no exceptions. We were all under the spell of culture. So I hope you have found the path to freedom. Blessings.